Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing fantastic, especially since it's the season for what do they say? It's a wonderful season. Yes, I hope you guys are all gearing up for Christmas and all the celebrations that come around it. Look at my ring, it says mom. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, I am here because some days my thoughts go all over the place. So December for me is a month that reminds me of my dad, because it was on the 11th December 1994 that I lost my dear dad. And it was at a time when I had just turned 12 years old. Yes, just turned 12 years old, and now it has been 28 years since my dad has been gone. So here's the question that I have for you guys, because I hope I'm not the only person who feels like this. When does an adult person who lost a parent or two when they were young, when do they stop having that feeling of being an orphan? Because I feel like from the time I lost my dad when I was 12 years old until now, I am a grown-ass woman. I am 40 years old with 4 children of my own, you know. And for some reason, that identity, the identity that I got when I was a child, that smaller inner child seems to still be in me. Even as an adult, I still feel like I'm an orphan. So when does... Okay, number one, when an adult loses a parent, for example, in old age, are they still considered an orphan? And then we who lost our parents when we were still young, when do we stop calling ourselves orphan? You know? I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like a lot of who I am, what I do, is around all that perception of my dad not having been in my life all these years. I feel I tend to navigate or always go back to that, you know, it's like I have a corner there somewhere, my dad, you know, a corner, that space, the loss of my dad, you know, it is there always with me. So no matter what I go through life, whether happy times or sad times, I find myself navigating towards. I always tend to navigate towards that. And I don't know if it is because I need to go into therapy to talk over these emotions that I built over the years that I never really got to talk about, discuss, or get over it. Because I don't know if this is normal. I'm 40 years old. Why should I continue feeling like this? But on the other hand, I also feel like, I'm not trying to justify. Guys, help me if any of you who lost a parent at a younger age experiences maybe the same thing that I do, or you experience something different. Please feel free to leave it in the comment section. But I always find myself, most times, even life is good, everything is okay, you know? But still, I always have that feeling of, oh, what would my life have turned into had my dad not died? You know? What would I have been? You know, because I always tend to feel like, for example, for those who don't know, my father was a district educational officer. So he was so much into education. So most times I feel like my dad could have guided me career-wise. There's so many things I tend to feel my dad would have done this, my dad would have said this. The things I've had to go through life, or responsibilities that I've had to take on. And I kept feeling if my dad was there, he would have done that. He would have done that. And I don't know, sometimes my mind is just all over. And I also feel like from a very young age, I had to take up responsibility. I had to mature. I had to grow up so fast. And sometimes I feel like I missed out certain parts of me. You know, I missed out trying to be pure child without having to worry about responsibilities. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like, yeah, there's so many things. I just don't want to go into details. Growing up, I was just overwhelmed, thinking of, I have to take care of this, I have to take care of that. You know, that was my way of thinking. I didn't have the freedom to just be myself and not care about other people. Yes, the word is parentification. From a very young age, I was parentified. You know, I became the parent figure for my siblings. So I didn't have the time to be a child. Sometimes I feel like that. So when we talk about parentification, parentification can be a good thing, but parentification can also have negative connotations to it, you know. And so when we talk about parentification, parentification simply means that parentification not only happens to people who are orphaned or who don't have parents, but even in most African traditional setting, the firstborn in the family, most times you tend to take up a little bit of responsibilities here and there. In a situation where your dad and mom is not there, they're out there. As the eldest, you're expected to take over the role of a parent and take care of the others. Yeah? It can be a good thing because you learn responsibility. You learn organizational skills, you learn communication, you learn, you know, all those things. But also, I feel like it tends to rob you of your childhood. I don't know if it makes sense, guys. Help me. But I find myself so many times, and I know I've had a chat with some of my friends where I keep asking them, about parentification. If they think, how has parentification affected them? Do they have any traumas from parentification? Because sometimes what parentification does to you, you are so much into thinking about other people, and sometimes you miss out a very important skill of learning to take care of yourself, you know? And sometimes I feel I have had that all throughout my life. It's just 1 or 2 years ago that I suddenly woke up. I'm like, oh my God, peace. Now you need to start taking care of yourself. You need to start looking after yourself. You can't be running around like a headless chicken every time you're just thinking about this and that and that and that. You need to take a pause and just put peace first. And many times when I look back, I think that is an impact of parentification. Nobody ever told me that I should put myself first, I should take care of myself first. And I know that sounds selfish, but as an adult now that I have grown up, I feel that is an important skill that should be taught to every child. Yes, you must take care of everyone else and think about everyone else, but you should never forget yourself. You should start by putting your needs first. As sometimes they say, use the bricks to build your own foundation first before you start distributing them and giving them away. I don't know if that makes sense, guys. Help me out. Yeah? So I don't even have any conclusion to these thoughts that I'm just telling you about. But yeah, when does an adult child stop to feel like an orphan? Because I have never stopped. Never have I stopped. Maybe because sometimes a little bit I am mad at the universe. I feel like the universe cheated me out of having a father. Because for me, I was a daddy's girl. I was daddy's little girl. Everywhere my father went, I went. As I said, he was a district educational officer. We lived in many parts of Uganda. I was born in Lugazi, and then we lived in Mbale, and then we lived in Fort Potro. We lived in Kumi, and it's in Kumi where he died after working only 5 months. And then from there, we were blessed. We moved in and lived with my uncle in Arua, in Nebi. So I have moved around a lot. So sometimes I just think maybe I hold on to this because I'm just mad at the universe for denying me the opportunity to have my father and grow up with my father and have the guidance from my father and have the love from my father and have all those things. So yeah, the struggle is real sometimes, but when does an adult stop being an orphan? You know, I don't know. For me, I just feel like as an adult, maybe it's just the inner child in me. That small girl at 12 years old, you know, is still stuck inside me and can't let go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. And I hope to hear something from you guys. Any of you, what do you think about parentification? What do you think about losing a parent when you're young, and what has that done to you? So thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely day. Let's catch up next time. Remember to subscribe, comment, and share. Bye.